Today on BrotherLee Time, we are joined by someone who I personally met on the streets of Chinatown about 10 years ago. In a very organic matter, I was shooting with my brother. I think I had my Micro Four Thirds GH2 on a GlideCam 4000. Damn. I was in a crosswalk, tracking shot. My brother's walking. He's the subject. Got the shot. Cut. I mean, ain't no cut. This is guerrilla street shooting, right? But then my brother's like, oh, he says what's up to someone. That someone is who we got in studio today. A bit of a full circle moment because back then we were both in the Hawaii wedding filmmaker scene, consuming hours and hours of how-tos and tutorials on YouTube. Today, here we are in 2026. It's a completely different landscape. And we're going to hear about this 10-year gap that happened. And with that said, I would like to welcome to the studio Philip, I almost said motherfucking, but I feel like I can't say motherfucking with this guy. He is jerking off produce on camera. Philip motherfucking Lemoine. Thank you, brother. Thank you. We got to do a little mic jujitsu with all of this stuff here, but thank you, man. Yeah, thank you for being here, bro.
You're so good at just naturally speaking. I'd be like,
Quit playing.
Nah, that was such a flawless intro of just no ums or uhs or pauses.
Really?
Practicing?
Bro, I've been watching your vids. No, because, we're obviously going to talk. We're obviously got a lot of geeky stuff to talk about with what we do. But props, man. First and foremost, props to you, your journey that we've seen, Taisei and I have seen. Not even just a year or two, but decades-long hustle. We're going to get into that because a lot of people see you and they see the numbers on socials, and it's easy to think this or that. We'll dive into this stuff. Mm-hmm. But you've been putting in work. You've been taking the shots, literally and figuratively, for literally over a decade. So first of all, flowers to you. Let me just ask this question. Why'd you come on BrotherLee Time, bro?
Man, we've actually talked about this before. Hey, we got to get you on. And I've always wanted to, but I was like, I'm not driving to Kapolei.
This dude ain't been west of H2 in decades as well.
No, what's funny is on the way here, I passed H2 and I was like, man, I don't remember the last time I drove past H2 to get this far. But man, it's just so good to be here to see you guys too and your hustle and all the things that you were putting in. This is just such a well-polished setup and the way that you delivered. I was just scrolling through the other day too, just thinking oh shit, what should I wear? Let me look. And then I was just like, wow, compared to a lot of, I don't even say compared, just in its own thing. It's just so well put together. You guys also just the way I look at things analytically when I look at social media. So just looking at analytically as a business, I'm just like, wow, you guys really hit all the points in the way that you not just produce it, but the way that you package it, the way that you distribute it, the multiple pieces of content you can pull out, even just photos mixed with the videos. It's damn, these guys really know what they're doing. They're doing it, And I'm makes me want to step up in a sense of what I do, because I'm just kind of I don't know. I'm just posting whatever I can do and put it on the internet.
Come on, man. You got some strategy, bro.
There's we could talk about that too, but there's strategy to everything. But a lot of times when especially looking at your stuff recently, I'm just wow, I could have pulled way more out of my stuff from that shoot day, but I didn't. And I'm man, why didn't I just pop off 5 photos and that could have been a carousel? You know what I mean? Why didn't I pull a quote and that could have been a Twitter post or a whatever, right? And it's man, I don't know.
No, believe me, every creator has that moment where they're why didn't I XYZ? I like to think of it as far as on the production side of things. And like you said, distribution, how much from each hour of shooting, how many platforms can I populate and distribute through? That 1 hour could turn into 50 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For one person. Mm-hmm. So you think about that disproportionate ability that we have as creators today. I know we're going to jump into this stuff, but just off the top, we're going off the deep end, but that is a huge part of our process. And actually, since we're there, I kind of want to get your take on this. Well, first of all, tell the peeps, man, flex on them. What are the numbers across your platforms?
Well, let me back up real quick. You asked why I wanted to be here too. I think aside from your production quality and your online presence and packaging. The other thing that I really respect is just the way that you, what's the word I'm looking for here? The one thing that I really respect and love is how you amplify like local creators and like local community. And I think that's like a really big thing. You know, just being here in Hawaii in general, it is kind of a tight-knit community. Everyone knows everyone, but it's great that you guys provide a platform for people to speak on specific things that they're passionate about, or like their businesses or their communities or their, you know, niches or whatever that may be. And I'm super thankful for that opportunity to come here and do that too, because there's a lot of creators here, and you could have picked so many, and I'm just feel very fortunate that you have me on here to speak in that realm, I guess you could say.
Well, thank you, man. That is part of what we think is, there's so much value within your own network, within your network, right? Like even if you have no account yet and you had this idea for years and you just made the first post, like just dig where you're at in your network and you will find gems. And that's all we've been doing for almost 3 years. This two years, just digging where we're at.
Yep.
And there's so much there in a rich place like Hawaii. Like you said, so many people come here, but also so many people are from here that, like me, who leave and come back with that experience, insight. And so that's all we're doing is we're just exchanging this sort of exchange within our network. And naturally it grows and expands. So yeah, man, thank you for saying that.
Yeah, for sure.
On the digital landscape, go ahead, flex on them, bro. What are the numbers on the platforms?
Gosh, that's the thing though. It's like, I don't look at it like a flex because it's such like a vanity metric.
True.
You know what I mean? So, and I'd love to talk about that too. Cause it's just numbers. And the way I look at those numbers too isn't even from the way I look at those numbers isn't from a personal value proposition, but more of a business value proposition.
Okay.
So having X amount of followers doesn't make me a cooler person. I look at it like having X amount of followers I think of it as having X amount of followers lets me leverage more of my business.
Gotcha.
So my focus on numbers is growth for income or like,
I'm glad you say that.
opportunity than it is to be like whoever the fuck, you know what I mean?
Right,
like,
right.
you know me, I'm fucking
I know.
And like, if anything, I'm like the worst example of like, it's cool.
But the numbers, I like numbers because they're objective.
Yeah.
And so let's frame it in that business perspective, not like personal then.
Yeah, 100%.
Just your business.
So we're not going to flex it as like a number of like, this is how valuable I am as a person. We can just say in a sense of like, my business has been able to hit these metrics.
Gotcha.
And I think TikTok was my largest following. I think like around 340. But my TikTok is dead. And then behind that is going to be YouTube. I think around like 250. And then Instagram is slowly starting to grow. I think I hit 123 yesterday, actually.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
123K.
Yeah.
Instagram. As far as trajectory, you said TikTok's dead, so I'm assuming it's downwards.
Yeah.
Why?
I just don't really post on there anymore.
Okay.
I was posting on there a lot, but I just noticed now if you go on TikTok, I feel like everything's an ad now. Everything's like a TikTok shop thing, like every 5 things, and then if not, it's controversy or it's whatever. That's how my algorithm is, and I think I probably created that. I did that to myself, but it's just not where my target audience is too. I think a lot of them are going to be on YouTube or Instagram is where I feel.
Instagram trajectory sounds like it's upwards.
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Honestly, to get really analytical, I've been changing my content recently, and I started posting more behind the scenes of me just being a content creator. And that's the kind of stuff that I actually want to post, not just my content. And because that's the audience I want to attract and target. So it's really just footage of me setting up my camera, behind the scenes of me filming a piece of content, and then after the content's filmed of me like having to wash the dishes or break things down or put things away. And I think it's kind of like, it is a little polished because it is, the way I film it and sequence it, but it's also at the same time kind of raw. And I think it's just more relatable. And I think a lot of people that, especially in the community that I'm trying to build or my niche, it's just other creators, and they want to see that, like, the process of setting all this up, building all this out, and, you know, get everything that happens up until that point of creating the content, not just the content.
Is that what you talk about? And you have a group with almost 1,000 on your Instagram. I don't know what's called, like Phillips Group or something.
Oh,
but
yeah,
private
yeah.
chat.
Yeah.
Is that what you guys talk about in there?
No. In that, I just post literally like before and after tattoo photos. So if you want to see my ass, you could see it in there. And then just bullshit. I just talk shit in there. Yeah. It's like it's not like a private chat. You know, I think they call them like
what's it, a group?
What do they call them? Like broadcasts or something like that.
Oh yeah,
like,
your broadcast channel.
Yeah.
That's right.
I do have a Facebook group though. That's pretty big. But that one's specifically to teach cooking creators.
Okay.
Cooking creators is what it's called. That's a little different. Yeah. But so, yeah, I share some of the behind the scenes in there a lot too.
Do you think we're in a behind the scenes, to me, as a consumer and creator, I'd like to hear your consume create ratio. I describe it to say a lot of times, like, I create so much that sometimes when I consume, I'm almost jaded. Like, I just fuck this shit. A lot of times I get to that point where I'm just like, I don't even care. Even if I made something, I don't even watch it. Yeah. A lot of the time, because it's just, I know it through and through, and it's never the version that I think it was going to be. So the creator mind is like, it's not even finished, but I already shared it. It's live, and it's engaged. People are engaging with it. So there's this disconnect and almost jaded gap between the creating so much and the consuming. I'd like to hear yours on that, but my take on it is I get a lot more, maybe it's my algorithm that I curated and created myself, but a lot more of what you're saying on Instagram is like that behind the scenes thing. Like, you see the polished, finished thing, maybe the hook, you could consider the hook is just UGC or synonymous with like iPhone, smartphone footage in the studio, in the space, and then you cut somewhere. The payoff is the polished thing, if there is even a payoff.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like that's more along my idea of like a weird mix of education, entertainment, because I'm learning how that creator created, and then I get to see the payoff of what the thing was. But oftentimes I don't even care if I see the thing they made. And if I go and look at the metrics, I'll follow their page or something, or I look at their page and I see the BTS version is way more successful than the one that's polished and they posted. Do you feel like we're in that era now, or are we just biased because that's what we engage with ourselves most?
I think it's a little bit of both. You know, it just depends on what side of the coin you're on, in the sense of, am I a creator or am I a consumer? You know, because again, I make cooking videos, but I make behind the scenes cooking videos. And the algorithm's going to feed my cooking video to the people that watch cooking videos, and they'll probably never see my behind the scenes video, right? And my behind the scenes video is going to get fed to the other creators who consume how-to content, tutorial content, and that sort of thing, right? So that's why they both essentially perform good. They're just performing with different audiences. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And that's what I feel like the algorithm now is more of it's not social media. It's more like interest, right? Interest-based. So the algorithm is going to feed you what you're interested in, not who you're following, right? So that's why I feel like you can make anything, which I started doing because I got so caught up in like, oh, I have to make cooking videos because that's who I am, the cooking video guy. Cooking video guy is like, I don't want to do cooking videos anymore. I want to just do whatever the fuck I want to do. And once I started doing that, those popped off, and then my shit started taking off. And what's crazy is it was already, I don't want to say I was already a large creator. I'm not. But what I mean is, like, I was already at like 80,000 when I was doing the only cooking videos thing. But once I started posting what I wanted to post, those videos did really good too, to the target people that I was trying to work with anyways. And all it really took was like 3 videos to go viral to get me over 100,000, you know? So I could show you metrics later. I can send you screenshots if you want, but it's really just like one video that popped off, hit 1.3 mil, and I grew like 15,000 from that.
In a day? Or like,
well, like over the time of that burn of that video, and even to this day, it still gets views, right?
Right.
But yeah, like that one video grew me like 15,000 on Instagram. And then
What was that video?
it was a video of me setting up my camera and then filming a cooking video.
Gotcha.
And with that behind the scenes take on it, I still look at it analytically as a business and as a creator, where it's like, what's that first shot going to be? What's that visual hook going to be? Because I don't say anything in that video. It's just me setting up, filming a cooking video, and then like eating the food and then like putting the stuff away, right? There's a beginning, middle, end, but what's that beginning shot that's going to be like, what the fuck? Like, why do I have to like stop and watch this? And it's a shot of me. I have this tripod. It's called a camera stand, but you could like lift it up. And then it's like, no one's ever seen a tripod like that. So once you lift up the tripod, it's like, whoa, how did he do that? And then by the time you get time to process it, the next shot is me taking the camera off the tripod. It's like, well, how did he just pop the camera off the tripod? Then it's a sequence of me like putting the memory card in and then snapping it back on. And then it's just like, it's just moving. You know what I mean? It's not super quick cut, but it's like, you're just moving so quick. You're like, well, what's he going to do? What's he setting up for? Oh, now he's filming. So he's grabbing something out of the fridge. You know, so I do think of it in a process of like, how am I going to carry this, you know, to get someone to watch the whole thing. Oh, the other thing too is I'm not wearing a shirt. That might be like, that might be the thing too, but not like I'm like buff or anything, but it was just like, it's hot. You know, we live in Hawaii.
I know.
I have no AC.
Yeah.
And I'm freaking sweating and I have to film this cooking video. So I'm not wearing a shirt. I don't wear shirts at the house all day.
You probably cold as right
I'm
now.
I'm freezing. Yeah. And, yeah. I don't even wear socks. And it's nice when winter happens. It's like, oh, I get to put socks on. But I was going to say, I don't think it's the shirtless thing that got people to stop. You know, it's definitely the camera. I've tried it multiple times. And then, I mean, I've made the video multiple ways with or without a shirt. And just that opening shot.
Yeah.
And when you look at the engagement too, they're like, what camera stand is that? That's like the number one question. What quick release is that? How did you do this? How did you do that? You know? So there's definitely other creators who are watching that and those popped off. And then I just made another version of that. That one went viral too. That one grew me another 5,000, 10,000, you know? And I've been dabbling with trials. You familiar with
I was
trials?
about to ask because it sounds like you're doing versions.
Well, what I do with trials is I find the one that just went viral and I literally just repost it as a trial and I just never like make it non-trial. Does that make sense?
Gotcha.
So I have like 9 trials of the same exact video and they all go viral and they all hit me like 2,000, 5,000 followers. You know what I mean?
To self.
Yeah. But I think, let me back up a second on that though. As a creator too, I feel like that's kind of cheating. And I also feel that's a little bit of laziness, you know? But at the same time, like, dude, I'm running a business. I'm fucking busy. I don't have time to make 5 videos a week making shit. You know what I mean? And I don't want to do that. I don't want to make 5 videos a week. You know what I mean? So I'm just using it to be like, hey, again, as a business, thinking, how am I going to spend my time? I'm just going to use this thing that's already created and just republish it because it's essentially targeting the audience that I want to grow and it works, right? So then that's just what I'm doing. And as I have time, then I will remake that video how I can, which I did recently. I made a cell phone version of it. So instead of it being a camera, now it's a cell phone. And with a cage, you know, a camera cage. And then now I'm dabbling with ManyChat. So it's like, you know, comment cage and it'll send you a thing and that's converting into affiliate marketing sales. You know, affiliate marketing is how I make like 10% of my income.
Dang.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, if we're there, can you...
Yeah, we can talk all numbers, anything you want. Yeah. I'm fully transparent.
Let's get into some numbers because I know people want to hear. And our personal history overlaps with Hawaii weddings. We'll dive into that and talk some shit.
Yeah. Can we turn this fucking AC down? Jesus Christ.
He's right in the blast zone. Like the fan, or at least turn the fan down. You know how to, we're talking, this guy's shirtless most of the time. And you come out to Eva Beach, you're thinking it's going to be like hot and all that, but
well, I don't have the luxury of air conditioning. I was like, damn, we got AC in here. This guy's living.
We both left the Hawaii wedding industry to pursue media in a different form that wasn't necessarily weddings. And obviously people wonder, like, why? Financially, is it better? You had your own wedding company, wedding film company, shout out to Supreme. And you said, I'm out. Obviously people are thinking, well, because he's making better money now. No?
I mean, yeah, now, but
Now, so let's say, what was your biggest Supreme independent, your own wedding video company? What was your biggest year in Hawaii?
I think we did like 380,000 in 1 year.
Could you put that
before taxes?
Okay, gross.
Yeah.
How many bookings is that?
Too many, man.
Like every weekend, right?
Yeah.
Your weekends,
like maybe like 48 weddings.
Damn, yeah. Okay. So that's an idea of maybe not average. I think that's a little above average as far as your wedding videography company. Solo-ish. I know you had a team.
And I think that's the thing too. It's because I didn't have a large team. You know what I mean? I just had a second shooter and then I would do a majority of the editing. And then it wasn't until I was drowning in editing when I put on, I brought on some editors. So, then the profits definitely dropped. But, in the peak Supreme times, which was also like the most depressing, was that's just proof that money doesn't bring happiness. You know what I mean? It was just drowning. It was a brand new business. I didn't know what I was doing. And it was just a learning process of just understanding contracts, understanding, just how to run a business. I didn't know what I was doing, so.
Still, 380 is
that was
significant.
That was a great year.
And that's gross. So consider that.
Yeah.
Okay, compare that to, let's say, what we're doing now. And you can, choose whatever you want to share, but you said affiliate is like 10% of what you make. And go ahead, paint us a picture for what's happening now.
Now, I would say last year was my second best year as a creator. I just started profiting as a creator. I went full-time cooking or full-time content creator in 2020. And then I just was able to make a profit, I want to say 2024. But we're doing my books right now, which are a mess. 280 gross. And then I would say a majority of the income, like I make about $1,000 a month from affiliate marketing. My YouTube doesn't actually do that good. I made about 14 grand on YouTube. YouTube's about views. It's not about following, and I haven't posted on YouTube in like 2 years.
And you're talking, when you say YouTube, you mean AdSense.
AdSense.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
And then, we have my brand deals and everything like that. And I think the big one right now is my course. I came out with a course and that makes about $5 grand a month.
So you're doing all right.
Yeah. I mean, I am.
Yeah.
I'm doing okay.
But it took like a 4-year build?
It did. Yeah. It was a 4-year build. But at the same time, like in those 4 years, not that I was on $0, but I've owned a business, a video production business for 14 years now. Like, since Supreme, since 2009. And, it's just a matter of, it's just a different client. You know what I mean? Like social media is just a different client. The thing with weddings is, weddings, it's not a repeat client. This is the whole reason why I wanted to get out of weddings. It's a bad business model as a videographer because you don't have repeat clients. You're constantly marketing to get new clients, and then you do business with them and you'll never see them ever again. Right? So
maybe you'll get a referral.
Yeah. Right. So that's why I spend more of my relationships when I was in the wedding industry, working with other vendors, with the venues, with photographers, people that were getting booked before me, like coordinators, those sort of things. Cause then I would get trickle down from them. Right. And it's all about relationships in that industry. And, that was the big thing for me. It was just like, I'm constantly marketing to try and get a client. If you're a photographer, maybe you can get an engagement shoot with them before. You can get a wedding shoot with them. You can get a trash to dress with them after. You can get a family photos when their family comes.
Yeah.
You can get first birthday, or you'll get a maternity shoot and first birthday. You get like 6 hits with that couple. With video, you're only going to get their wedding video unless they get married again, which I've done.
Which has happened.
Right. So, so that was one of the things when I saw my business like 6 years in, I was like, wait a minute, there's something, different about this. Yeah. And then, I think the big hit for me was 2 things. One was just like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? You know what I mean? Like, I thought it was. I thought this was my goal. I thought I wanted to do this, and I did it. But it's like, is this like what I'm supposed to be using my talents for, to like film someone's wedding video that no one else is going to see? Is this changing the world? You know what I mean? It's probably helping, that family and that couple. And it is definitely a privilege to be like chosen to be able to capture someone's special day. I take that, it's like a huge responsibility, and I've always done my best, no matter what they paid, or if they didn't even pay my rate, I would go above and beyond in every possible way. But I was just like, man, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? And am I going to do this until I'm like, time to retire? I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like there's something else that I want to do. And I just wasn't passionate about it.
That's for me why I left.
Yeah.
The passion part. Once you're like, okay, this is my 3rd time at Palico Gardens this week.
Yeah.
This month.
Yeah.
I'm not giving my all to this. Like, it's 3rd time this week for me, but it's your first, maybe only time in your lifetime. Destination wedding. Hawaii has a lot of destination weddings. Sometimes you get the half local bride or groom and not local bride or groom other side. And to me, I always enjoyed, even in my sort of year 5 of doing this, the thing that made my passion meter go up were the destination weddings, because they were so like, their wedding day started a week earlier when they landed. And so they came with that energy. Rain or shine, local families 20 minutes away from home, comfy couch. It's not the same energy. Yeah. Occasionally you get these moments out of island or something, or maybe there's just some hula hama family, and so everything is like a merry monarch. Yeah, like those moments do pump the passion up. But for the most part, that's also why I left. But I'll offer this to you because you would understand. Like, you made a lot of impact for a small, select, intimate group. What you've done, what we've done, photographers, videographers alike, our audience is limited to this bride and groom and their family. Yeah. Especially same day edits. Like, I think that was the huge part for me too, that would kind of raise my passion meter. If it's a same day edit, to see that select group of people relive that day in that moment, they're like, damn. Like, to me, that was fulfilling. But then you go somewhere like yourself now. Imagine the bride and groom that chose Supreme and chose Philip to come through, and you delivered, right? Huge impact for a small select group. But now people who connect with Philip, a lot of times you'll never see in your life. We're on the digital landscape, the internet. But, I think the impact is still there. It's just, you could say, more widely distributed. Yeah. There's a lot of people learning from your videos. There's a lot of people inspired by your videos. Yeah. But you just never see them. You ain't spending 8 hours a day with them. Yeah. So it's just different. Yeah. It's a different landscape.
Yeah. And I think that's what I love about social media, is you can just reach so many more people, and you can help so many more people. What's funny is, I don't know if I should say this.
Say it.
I'm not a very religious person. And we have like Mormons that come to our apartment and they knock on the door, and they're always trying to like convert us. And I'll be like, you should start a YouTube channel, because you could just reach so many more people with your message. Like, what you do is so difficult, to just show up to someone's house uninvited, to knock on their door, and to just like promote something you're so truly passionate about that they probably don't give a fuck about. You know what I mean? And you're trying so hard to like, look, like, I believe in this so much. I want you to know what I feel and how it's changed my life. And they don't give a fuck, right? And you're going door to door, for 8 hours a day in the sun with your tie on. It's like, dude, like this, riding your bike, it's hot. If you made a YouTube video just sharing these stories of how the Book of Mormon changed your life, you could reach and with, if you just knew how to analytically create a hook of like, man, I was in this dark moment in my life and these are the things that I was struggling with and I didn't know where to go. And you don't even have to even mention I don't even know how to say it, the Book of Mormon. It's just what I say, Mormonism or your religion. You can just talk about how something changed. And then the end is the payoff is this link in my bio, right? Or whatever, right? So many people that are struggling with depression, with insecurities, with all of the things that are preached, or I guess, in the word, they could search and find or discover you and then be like, wow, maybe I do need this. Maybe I do want to go to church and find something, right? That is so much more powerful. And you can reach so much more people than going door to door. Dude. You can make 5 videos in a day and then like you can reach so many more people, which is crazy. So whenever they come up, I'm like, you don't know what you're getting into knocking on this door, because I'm about to like motivate you to start a YouTube channel, right? Like, how are you going to sell this to me? All right, here's 5 videos that you can make with this. Here's the hooks. You know what I mean? Here's how you're going to here's how we're going to package this in a video form.
Have you done that before?
No, but I want to.
Please, dude, do it.
So we always just say, and here's me opening the door with my shirt off. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, there's your hook.
Like, and they're like, and it's like, sometimes it's women. They're like, do you
have you heard about the
yeah they're like, here's a flyer actually.
Bro, not only does that, someone did that, please, if that was you, do it. And it doesn't just matter if it's, first of all, door knockers, props. You are getting hardened to rejection, face-to-face rejection.
Tough.
This kind of roulette lottery system of knocking and you don't know what shirtless dude tatted up, like now he's preaching me to start this YouTube channel. That experience is some of the secret sauce for a lot of YouTube channels. It's a question box. Whose door is going to be knocked on today? I'm thinking of even gamblers, like gambling is a huge thing, not just in the world, but in social media. And you see these people who make huge social media followings off this gambling. It's almost streaming. Because it's like light edits. But what you're talking about is a little more like manufactured, curated, like hook, beginning, middle, and payoff type of thing. Bro, I know that would slap. I know the call to action, if it was like, here's my Zoom link, available anytime. And you just make sure that someone can answer that Zoom link. Someone who watched that video, bro, you now instead of door knocking, you're just accepting calls, spreading the word through this digital door of the screen. I know that would convert.
And I just think too, in general, again, we're going kind of semi off topic, but in a sense of just like popping up to someone's door and knocking on it to tell them something that they're probably not interested in is probably not only a really difficult thing, but you might just catch them at a wrong time. They might actually be interested and need it. But it's just not right now. You know what I mean? But if you can create a video and put it on the internet to where it just pops up on their feed because they're already maybe searching or dealing with, struggling with certain things. And then your video pops up because it's related to the things that they searched for. And you can create a compelling testimonial style video that's geared towards the algorithm.
Bro,
it would just do so much better. And then you can convert them into potentially showing up to their local church or their local thing. And it would do so good compared to putting your resources into riding your bike everywhere and just knocking on doors, which I don't know is like maybe just a requirement for first level Mormon doers. I don't know. You know what I mean?
I know. Believe me, I see J-Dub groups at bus stops. And I just think about, what are they measuring analytics as far as hours spent per conversion?
How many people saw this? Where do they live? What's their age, sex? You can get their whole demographics off of your analytics. You know what I mean? Dude. You could run ads targeting specifically the people that you want to convert, which is crazy, right? And bro, the church, you want to put money, you want to put some tithe into some ads, that's where it's at, bro.
Or just a straight up studio. Also, I mean, shout out to all the churches out there because I know the church media game is strong.
Hard. I did media for Inspire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you know then.
Yeah.
Like,
they hustle, dude.
they're spreading the word out in a modern way. But the recruitment / marketing part, like, why don't they go as hard is what we're talking about. Before we leave the wedding subject, though, I got to ask.
Yeah.
Why did you get blacklisted, bro?
No, so let me back up though. We kind of went on a tangent on the religion thing. I feel like religion sometimes ruffles some feathers or whatever. You know, it's whatever you believe in. You know what I mean? It's the universe. It's God. It's whatever, right?
Yeah.
To me, it's all the same. If you read the Bible, you read the book. It's all a positive message. It's just all packaged differently. Back to the weddings though. The main reason that I ended up getting out of weddings was essentially COVID. Once COVID hit, I lost 100% of my business. And I was already living off deposits. And, so before you book a wedding, they give you a deposit to lock the date. And I was like essentially living off those deposits until I got their wedding. Then I would get the rest of the money, right?
Yes.
Once COVID hit, I lost all future weddings, so all future income. And then everyone's asking for their deposits back, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I literally have no income, no money, right? So that was the other thing too, as a business owner, I realized like, one, it's not a repeat business, but two, it's so dependent on so many things that are out of my control. You know, the venue could close, the weather could be bad, COVID. I just can't control any of those things. And tourism, you know what I mean? A majority of my income was like based off of tourism. And I was just like, man, this isn't it, you know? So that was kind of like where I was like, I need to kind of like pivot out of this. And
we're two brothers from Hawaii, and this channel is our opportunity to tell stories around the world. If you have a place, a city, an event, or a story that you think we should experience and you can help make the travel possible, there's a connect form in our site linked below. And if it makes sense, we'll reach out. Thanks for watching. Back to the episode.
I already had like 2 feet out the door essentially in 2016. Before COVID even hit, I was already trying to find a way out. And that sounds bad, like trying to find a way out of the wedding industry, but I was trying to pivot my business essentially. And at the time we were traveling a lot, and I would go on YouTube to find like places to go in Bali or whatever. And I'd come across these YouTubers that they made 100% of their income posting videos on the internet, which I didn't really, it wasn't like clocking to me of like how they do it. And then I started going down, I learned this term called passive income. And I was like, oh, right now, the way my business is structured is I only get paid if I show up, unless I hire out a contractor or whatever like that. And I don't like doing that because it's so hard to find like reliable people. And we all use the same shooters, so it's like, are you booked? I'm already booked for this company or whatever, right? This is difficult. And that was the other thing too, is like, I trained so many people to be my second shooter, and then they go fucking start their own business, and I'd support them in that. But at the same time, it's like, fuck, now I got to train someone else, I was just so sick of it. And so I wanted to get out. And I was like, oh, they sell products, digital products. They make money off YouTube. I found all these different ways that you can make money through social media. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. But I waited like 3 years. I didn't post my first YouTube video until January 2019. And it's still up. It was Lumpia. I made a Lumpia video. And that shit popped though.
Also, your mom had a 10K sub channel, like
she
low
still
key.
makes money. She still makes money off her YouTube. She didn't post it in 2 years. And that's the point. It's passive. She's making money. And that was the thing. Like I started a YouTube channel in 2019. I posted like 5 videos. They were all recipe videos. They're terrible. Watching them now, I'm like, wow, this is not good. Especially algorithm based and no hook, whatever. But I remember I went hard for like 3 weeks or a month. And then wedding season started. I got busy. And towards the end of that year, when it came down to do our books, my bookkeeper, she was like, hey, you had like $58 that came into your bank account from Amazon. Did you refund something or whatever? And I was like going through all the book, like all my transactions. And I was like, no, like, I don't know what that's from. And then I was like, wait, I went on my YouTube, and my YouTube, it grew to like 1,500. It's like, holy crap, like my YouTube channel blew up, right? And I looked at my lumpia videos. Oh my God, my lumpia video is like 100,000, right? And in my lumpia video, I recommended this scooper, like a 1 ounce scooper, so you can get the perfect the perfect, amount of filling for each wrap. And it was affiliate link.
Gotcha.
And I made affiliate income from the sales, $58. And that's when I was like, holy crap, it's working, right? Oh my gosh, I made $12 off AdSense every month since it popped off. I was like, oh my God, 2020, I'm going to go all in. And then COVID hit. And then I basically had that opportunity to just make YouTube videos. And then since then, I've been a full-time content creator.
And then, because if I think about moments I remember in your sort of social media life, this shadow ban was one of them. I mean, this was before the term like canceled was it cancel culture? And it's not really canceled, but give me an example. Like, let's just make this a story of creators out there and these relationships, because this is you and a very prominent hotel.
Oh yeah. So I got blacklisted from a hotel because I posted something about them on social media. That could be the hook. Okay. So, yeah. I got blacklisted from a hotel because I posted something about them on social media. So back when I was a wedding videographer, there are hotels that have preferred vendors. And typically only those preferred vendors are able to film at the venue, right? And I wasn't a preferred vendor, but the couple booked me to shoot their wedding, and somehow I got in. But their wedding, so it was just a miscommunication. What basically happened was their wedding wasn't at the hotel. They just got ready at the hotel and they got married next door right off site. So, and the reception was right off site too. So nothing else was happening at the hotel. So when we parked at the hotel for 2 hours to film their hair and makeup, when it was time to leave, I went to the front desk and I asked if they could validate my parking so we can leave. And they said, we don't validate parking for vendors. That's what they said. We don't validate parking for vendors, right? And I was like, okay, that's fine. We've only been here for 2 hours. It was going to be like $20. It was like $150, right?
Damn.
So I posted a photo of my receipt and I tagged at hotel.
Yeah.
Doesn't validate for vendors, right? That's what they told me. So I paid this much for this thing. And that went, it wasn't a story, it was a post. And it popped off. The next day I got an email from the hotel saying that I'm no longer allowed on property. And I tried to explain to them what happened. They didn't want to hear it. And what's crazy is I had like 4 weddings booked at that hotel. And I was like, what am I going to do? So long story short, I just still showed up to those weddings. They never like did anything. They never like flexed anything. And at one of the weddings, actually I was second shooting for another company. Before my weddings popped up, they approached me saying, like, hey, this and this and that. And that's where we kind of hashed it out. And I was like, this is what happened. And they're like, no, what they should have said is, we don't validate, we validate for vendors, but you got to be a preferred vendor, yada, yada, yada. And we kind of like worked it out. And after that, it was like nothing. But
I just remember during the time, it was like the huge thing.
It
like,
was a
at
big
every wedding.
scandal,
How vendors talk at a wedding?
Yeah.
And we're talking about this. Sometimes like the bride and groom bridal party, like, what are you guys? And then I'm like, now we just full on gossip mode.
Yeah.
Especially if we're at that hotel, we're thinking about it. So what would you say, as we wrap up the wedding thing, what would you say is the lesson you took away from that experience?
Well, how can I say this? I'm not a very PC business owner. And I think a lot of businesses, you have to be, especially in Hawaii where it's like,
everyone knows everyone.
Everyone knows everyone. You do the wrong thing, you're blacklisted from the industry, right? But I was just so like anti the way that the industry was. Like, it's not fair to the couple that they can only pick from this list of vendors, right? It's not fair that the hotel gets a 20% cut of what that vendor's charging just because they put you on a menu and the couple happened to pick you. You didn't sell me. You didn't book my wedding. You didn't have meetings with this couple for me. You didn't do anything. All you did was put me on your list, and now I have to give you a cut. I didn't think that was cool. There's like so many things in the industry that I didn't think was good, or there's so many things in the industry that I didn't think was ethical. And I was always speaking up on those things. And I feel like a lot of businesses wouldn't do that because they're scared to lose their business or lose their things, you know? And that was another reason why I just was so sick of the industry. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong. Like, if it wasn't for the wedding industry, I wouldn't have anything. I think a lot of times too, like, I see my friends post Instagram stories of them like at a wedding, and I'm like, I don't miss that at all. Yeah. Like I hated that, but I don't say that coming from a space of I'm above it. What I mean is it's the hardest thing I've ever done. You know, like it's long hours. Sometimes you don't get fed. It's stressful, especially if you have a shitty coordinator. Like nothing's on time and you're trying to be an artist and do your best to capture someone's special moment. And even at the end of the day, it's like, man, this could have been such a better film if they just like did the right thing. You know what I mean?
The timing part,
yeah.
People don't understand. Like,
yeah,
between us, how many ever hundreds of weddings, like maybe 2 have been on time because of the factors that are out of our control.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a tough, grindy type of environment.
Yeah.
So
even just the fact of like, as simple as do your speech right here. Don't fucking move. Cause the light's on you.
Yeah.
The audio's perfect. Nope. They grab the mic and they want to walk around the whole fucking ballroom. It's like, you fucking idiot. Now I can't use your speech in the film because I can't see you. You know what I mean? So it's like now the wedding film's trash, you know? So, you know, there's all these little things. But I will say though, like shooting weddings, you learn everything as a filmmaker off the cuff.
Yeah.
You're shooting detail shots. Now you're shooting products, rings, shoes, dresses, clothes. That's product placement, photography and videography, right? You're shooting exterior shots and establishing shots. You know what I mean? That's landscapes. Yeah. That's architecture. That's real estate. Yeah. If you think about it, right? You're shooting couples portraits, you know, those sort of things. You're shooting people, models, you know, in that
oftentimes
sense,
who don't have experience being directed.
Exactly. And you're doing all this off the cuff, live, where you don't have any control of the situation, right? Yeah. You're shooting speeches, you're shooting audio, you're shooting things, and you're making films out of this, right? So
multiple venues in the same day. So now you're figuring out transport.
You're breaking up, you're setting down. You're the logistics of it, right?
Yeah.
You learn so much as a wedding videographer that can translate into everything. So now as a content creator, this is the easiest thing I've ever done in a sense of I wake up, my gear's in my house. Yeah. I don't got to pack it up and bring it to the venue and then unpack it. There were so many times when I'd go to a venue and the ballroom wasn't open yet. So I had to leave stuff in my trunk. And then I'm like running from like the ceremony to go grab the projector for the fucking same day edit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just like, man, it's so much easier. I will say what was the question? Like if I had one takeaway?
Well, I mean, the lesson from the hotel thing, but you can kind of wrap it up into weddings.
Yeah. I think the one lesson that I learned from the hotel thing is that you just don't know what's going to happen when you put something on the internet. And I didn't expect that to happen, you know, and that was a negative consequence on me for posting something. So I learned right there that like, hey, like maybe I should consider what I put on the internet before I do it, you know? Yeah. And I didn't, but I still post bullshit. You know?
Hey, that's part of why I think you have such a strong tribe too. It's because we're seeing this guy who is breaking the rules, who's saying, you know, F you to the industry, which resonates with a lot of people. Like the status quo, right? Nah, let's do something else. So there's a bit of that rogue warrior energy you're emitting that people really resonate with. On that note, I kind of want to do a little quick fire thing here. Yeah. Because you're someone with these platforms, and I think what you have to say about this matters. Just give me the best and worst of these platforms. We'll try to keep it quick.
For the quick fire, I just want to wrap that up too, because I don't want to come off like I shit on the industry. I definitely have a lot of respect for the wedding industry, everyone that's in it, from the venues to the coordinators to the other vendors. Again, I wouldn't have anything without the wedding industry. So, you know,
shout out to the wedding industry.
yeah, thank you so much. And like, I still vet for them, and I still, you know, promote and support them. And my wife's in the wedding industry.
You're right.
You know what I mean? She's a photographer.
You're
so
right.
what I love is I love that she's in the wedding industry, because every time she goes to a holiday event or a party, I get to see all my friends. I get to see all my vendor friends, you know? So
shout out Christine.
I love it. Yeah. And I sometimes consider getting back into the industry.
Yeah.
But just maybe as a same day editor.
Oh, okay.
Because at least I could just like cruise,
Yeah.
edit
yeah,
a
yeah,
video
yeah.
in the AC, and then like I don't have to go out in the sun and shoot and carry all the gear and lug it around, because that's hard. It's not easy, you know. So
You're right. We don't want to take a complete dump on the wedding industry. We
No,
know how hard it
definitely.
is. We know
Yeah.
a lot of people who still are in it. It's a grind. It's a great place to cut your teeth.
yeah, big time.
Big time.
And in Hawaii in general, it's like $1 billion, you know, like
Huge.
industry. Yeah,
Huge.
And it dabbles into not just the weddings, but they rent cars, they stay at hotels, they eat small businesses foods. You know what I mean? They do all these things, so it trickles out of just the wedding economy into the whole economy.
True
you know,
that.
so it's such a big cornerstone to the economy's income, I guess you would say. I don't know if that's the term, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. We're right there with you, man.
Yeah. But yeah, let's do a quick fire.
Let's do quick fire. Best and worst of these platforms. YouTube, best and worst.
The best of YouTube is that it's a search engine. It's the second largest search engine in
The world.
the world, after Google, and it's owned by Google. So if you just know what people are searching for, it's easy to make videos that'll do well and get discovered, because you just need to create a solution to those videos' problems. The worst is that it's hard to grow. It's probably one of the hardest platforms to grow on, because there's just so much, you know.
Competition.
Yeah, there's just so many like variables on how to like make a good video. But once you understand it, it's actually not that hard.
TikTok.
Gosh, I don't even want to have.
Fuck them.
I mean, no, like I know a lot of people that, you know, they run their business off TikTok, and have their largest following. I think TikTok is like a slot machine. So you're really just like pulling the thing every post, and you're really hoping it's going to hit, you know? For me, so all these things, I'm speaking for myself, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's just a luck of the draw for me. So some hit, some don't. Sometimes I post the same video and it hits again, you know what I mean? Or it doesn't, you know? So I don't know.
How about Reddit?
I don't know Reddit.
X.
I used Reddit though when I was just starting out. I would post a lot of my YouTube videos in subreddits of that group. So I was making a lot of Filipino recipes. I found like a Filipino food subreddit, and then I feel like that helped a lot of my videos in that sense. Okay. And I use it more of a search tool, and again, to me, it's just like an educational thing where I use it, not for like entertainment.
What about Instagram? Best and worst.
Instagram. I think the best thing about Instagram is that now it's easier to get traction as a small creator if you just understand how to create content. The worst? Gosh, I don't know if there is really a worst. It's probably just worse if you're a photographer, because it's difficult to like kind of grow it was a photo-based app.
You're right.
And now it's just a video-based app. So, but I see a lot of photographers doing well with carousels and, you know, BTS stuff too.
You know, just this morning, I saw one. I was like, yeah, you know, Philip would have something to say about this. It was a painter, right? You think about painting, it's a physical piece of work. And it was like it took a satirical angle on it. It was an older painter guy, and he's basically lamenting about how he has to perform in video form and use these techniques and strategies to then sell and market his painting.
Yeah.
So it lands on his painting, and actually, like, I feel like most of the comments were very positive. Like, hey, you got me. I ain't even mad, bro.
Yeah.
Because you got me. And it not just people who painters, but like musicians. Think about musicians now who are like, now am I a creator because I'm a video person? I'm thinking of videos and hooks. It is one of those places now where, especially Instagram, short form, it feels very performative.
Yeah.
I kind of want to get your take on the definition of creator versus influencer.
That's a good
How
one.
would you differentiate that?
Yeah. Before we jump into that, I want to say what I think is good about Instagram is, as a business, it's a very powerful tool. When I think of things like restaurants or those sort of things where, yeah, it sucks as a business owner, especially if you're just like a ceramicist or like an artist or something. It's like, I just want to sell my pots or I just want to sell my paintings. And it's like, well, crap, now I got to like put my director hat on and act and make these videos. That sucks, right? But that's just like marketing in general, right? Yeah. It's just, you just happen to be the creator or, like the production company to create the marketing tools and the distributor and the creator and the person and the filmer and the editor and all the things, right? Yeah. That's just how it was before. It's just you were paying someone else to do it for you, right? So now you can do it yourself and you can reach so many people if you know how to do it well, right? And it'll literally change your life, right? You can post one great video that goes viral and then everyone discovers your product and then now you sold out until the next round of the next round, right? So it's a double-edged sword at that. The difference between a creator and an influencer.
And which one are you?
I want to say I'm a small business owner that uses social media content to market my business. Outside of being a small business creator, I like to make videos, and I will do that for the rest of my life. I just love making videos, right? It just so happens that my passion for video aligns with my business. So now for my business, I can make videos. Gotcha. Right?
I like that answer.
Yeah. And then I think the difference between like a creator and an influencer is, influencer to me is like a bad word, but I do use it to describe myself depending on, the situation. But I think influencer gets a negative view because you look at like the cringe creators who are just doing stuff for attention. You know what I mean? That's what I think influencers, just people that are just doing shit to get attention.
Attention hoes.
Yeah. And then especially if it's just like controversial or just stupid or like irresponsible. Even if they do something and they know it's wrong, they're like, oh, but it's doing good. Let me do more of that, right?
Gotcha.
I don't like that. I think creators in the sense is like maybe artists or, business owners or, those sort of things that are actually trying to create something that has meaning or impact, those sort of things. So that's what I think. Or market. It doesn't even have to necessarily have meaning. It could just have a goal of like selling a product,
Gotcha.
Or helping someone or something like that. So I look at like a creator in that sense.
Would you say that one of the biggest, I want to hear your take. What do you think the biggest mistake someone is making right now who's listening to this, who might follow you or just found out about you? Like, what is the biggest mistake that you see people falling, or the biggest trap that people fall into? It sounds like it's the influencer trap where you're seeking attention and do anything for attention.
Yeah.
But I like how you position yourself as the small business owner, operator who just uses social media. So is there something there where you're kind of like, you know what, if you're just coming up now, do this and don't do this?
I think one of the biggest traps that small creators that are on the come up run into is just throwing a bunch of ideas out there to see what sticks and then just picking the one that worked, even though it doesn't align with what they actually want. For example, maybe you're doing things that you're actually passionate about and those aren't hitting, but then you do this random skit and this character does good. And you're like, ooh, let me do more of that character. And it's always hitting and they're always going viral. And then now it's like, that's not who I am, right? So now I have to like turn on every time I want to create content. 2, it doesn't align with my end goals, right? And I think that's what it really comes down to is, what is your goal with social media? Because if it is to like make income or promote a business or a product, then you got to make sure that the things that you're putting out there align with that,
I feel you.
And I think a lot of times I've seen these people like I don't know if you've seen that, and not to poop on him, and I hope he never sees this. There's this dude that dressed up like Keenan and Kel. He was like Kel from Good Burger.
Yeah, yeah.
That was his whole personality, where he would just dress like him and go around in public and make content around that. And it's like, how are you going to market that to anything? How are you going to make income off of that? How are you going to get brand deals? How are you going to sell products? How are you going to do anything outside of, yeah, you got 3 million followers following you for what? Making these videos, right? And let me back up a minute. If you just want to make fun videos and that's what you get enjoyment from, if that's the goal, 100% support that. Do it. Do what makes you happy, right? But if your goal is to like become a creator, to grow a following, to make income, how are you going to make income with that? You know what I mean? And how long can you sustainably put on the wig and the outfit and act like someone you're not until you're so sick of it that you want to not do that, right? So it's like, what am I truly passionate about that I really want to do? Okay, how can I create content to do more of that? You know?
Damn. No, you're right. People get, I think the even more scary or unseen part of that is a lot of times people are becoming a character that they don't even realize.
100%.
Because they don't have the props.
Yeah.
But they're acting in a way that's untrue to themselves, unaligned. And maybe in some ways, like the safer bet is to actually think of yourself not as an influencer or creator, but a business. That way it's a very clear goal with a lot of objective metrics that you can measure separate from the vanity metrics that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
It creates that separation where you can be comfortable in knowing like I'm a business person with this goal. So everything I make, I don't feel like I need to perform this character. I think the most dangerous ones are the characters that don't have props.
Yeah. How can I be successful being myself?
I mean, you are in a lot of ways that example for a lot of us.
Well, that's what I'm hoping to be, you know, because essentially I did what I just said don't do.
Right.
And that's why I said don't do it, because that's what I did. And then I realized that's not what I want to do. Damn, that was like a lot of do's and don'ts. You feel me though, right?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be a YouTuber. So I threw a bunch of stuff on the wall and the cooking videos hit, right? And after 4 years of making cooking videos, I'm like, dude, I don't want to be the cooking video guy. I love cooking and I love filming. But once I started doing those two things together, again, it's like one of the most difficult things I've ever done. And I don't want to do that. Gotcha. I don't want to sell cookbooks. I don't want to make recipes. I don't want to do all that. I do want to learn how to be a better cook. And I do want to make cooking videos still, but I don't want to like be a cooking influencer, right? I just want to be me. I just want to make cool videos and fucking do dope shit. That's all I want to do, right? And if there's a way that I can film me doing dope shit, then it's like hitting both things, right?
Gotcha.
So, and the bigger picture for me is how can I do all that and help other people do it too? So once I started filming behind the scenes of me making cooking videos, that felt more like me. Now I'm not trying to put like, today we're making this. This is great.
That's a character.
Right? Yeah, it's a character, right?
Yeah.
But even when I do that, like it's really genuinely me eating and I like it, right? Most times. But here's like what really is going on. I'm setting up my camera without my shirt on. I'm setting up an AC in the other room and running a tube to the kitchen so you don't hear the AC. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
I'm filming all this. I'm burning myself. I'm doing all these things. Here's like what's really going on. And that's real. You know what I mean? And then I'm resonating with other creators that want to do that too. And that aligns with the product that I sell, which is my course, how to make cooking videos, you know, how to be a creator. And I'm not using this as necessarily a marketing tool, but I'm just showing like, no, I really do this shit. You know what I mean? I'm not selling you how to make money off crypto. I'm selling you how to like bust your ass to making content and how to leverage that as income. You know what I mean?
So I kind of want to wrap up this in social media segment here, because I mean, you're giving a lot of gems and I know you have a lot more to give, but one of the important things that I think we got to mention is you are Road Creator of the Year amongst others, as well as I voted for you too, by the way, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you. I was like, damn, get them in there. Road Creator of the Year and a Sony Alpha Ambassador. Can you just explain how you came to these two very, I mean, dude, Sony Alpha, like, come on. And
that's crazy.
And
Dream
Road.
brand.
How the hell did that happen?
Dude. Wow. Like, talk about like dream brand deal goal. I can't believe like I was able to work with Sony and still am. When I first started making content, let me back up. When I first got on Instagram, not even as a content creator, I would post my wedding films. I'd post so many photos, videos, and I would tag Sony. Look at me, dude. I'm using your cameras. Like, what's up? Let's work together. Acknowledge my presence, right? I would die if they liked my photos, right? Or videos. And I'd never got anything from them, right? And I was always posting all of my work, and they never seen it. But it wasn't until I started posting me using their products and showing how I use it and how it's a tool that helps me, did they start noticing me. And what I learned was I was making educational tutorial or content that aligned with their target audience, right? So I think a lot of creators or creatives that want this dream partnership got to understand that, like, you can flex all of your creative skills as much as you want, but unless you're like a National Geographic photographer or like an NBA photographer or like, some at that level, they're probably not going to fuck with you. You know what I mean? But if you can find another way in, which I did, was like, well, I actually use your tools and let me show other people how to use them to like make great, art. It aligns again with their target audience. So now they're sharing my video because it's exactly what they would have wanted to make anyways, right? So they hit me up. I remember I get an email and they were like, hey, we would love to like do a blog post with you. What's in your bag? And that was the first thing we did, was a blog post where they said, what's in your bag as a food creator? And then they're like, oh, that did really good. Do you think you can give us another blog post on like, I did an interview with them basically, and they're like 5 tips for better cooking videos, but like highlight, the Sony product in one of the tips, right? So we did that, and that did so well. They're like, would you be interested in doing a paid YouTube video on that? And that was my first brand deal with them. And they paid money too. I was like, oh shit, let's do it, right? And then that just led to another brand deal, and then another brand deal. And after 2 years of just a bunch of one-offs, they said, hey, would you be interested in being a Sony brand ambassador? And that's a kind of a big deal because it's not something you can apply for. It's actually, you got to be invited. There's no application. There's no process like that. And it's like, hell yeah. So I signed up to be a brand ambassador with them. And that was really cool to be able to have that on the thing.
Well, give us a range of, before you're an ambassador, these sort of one-offs with Sony. What kind of money are we looking at?
Well, my going rate is for a YouTube video is like 10 grand for like a long form YouTube video. And then a short form, like an Instagram, is 7 grand. So they're willing to pay like my rate in most cases, right? I ended up not renewing my ambassadorship with Sony this year, mainly because they just have a strong exclusivity. Once you sign a contract with Sony, and I think a big thing too is a lot of people don't realize Sony makes more than cameras. They make movies, they make microphones, they make TVs, headphones, everything, right? And once you're in their umbrella as an ambassador, you have this, it comes with exclusivity.
You better not use a DJI mic.
Yeah.
Right?
What was that?
You better not use a DJI mic.
No, yeah, you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to do any of these things. And what was difficult about that for me as an educational creator is, of course, I'm always going to promote the Sony products, but some people might not have those products. They might have a Rode mic or DJI thing or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I was never able to help them. So I ultimately came down to a decision of, if I want to help more people, I have to take a step back from being a Sony ambassador so that I could use different products to make more educational content. So I ended up taking a step away from that. And we still have a great relationship with Sony. I still use Sony. I still rep them. And, everything's great with them. I just want to be able to help more people. So I didn't renew that contract.
Thanks for sharing that, as well as the 7K, 10K prices, because a lot of times people will, when I'm in conversations about paid sponsorships, I've heard of formulas, and oftentimes it's views or followers, and it has a certain times money amount.
Yeah.
Do you follow that? Like when you reach this big of an audience, then you charge this?
No. So actually, if you just type in my name, Philip Lemoine, and how much to charge for brand deals, I'll have a video that explaining. If you were to ask me,
Gotcha.
and I sat down with you at the coffee, exactly how I come up with my pricing. But in a nutshell, just to have it here, because I've had a business for so long in the video industry, I have a rate for how much it costs for me to get out of bed, set up my camera, and hit record, right? Those were my rates always, no matter what I was filming, right? So no matter my follower doesn't count. My following count doesn't matter. What matters is how much time I'm going to put into creating this video. So I'm considering how much time I need to plan it, how much time it takes to shoot, how much time it takes to edit, what props I need, whatever. These all things are going to create this base price of $3,500 is what I start at.
Gotcha.
So if you want me to just get out of bed and hit record and think of a video and record it, it's going to be $3,500. Now, what do you want me to do with that video? Oh, you want me to post it? Where am I posting it? How long is it going to go online? What do I say in those things? Are we, sending them a ManyChat link to your product, whatever, right? That all costs extra. Oh, you want to post it. I'm not posting it. Okay. So if you're going to post it, that costs different. Oh, you want to own this? You want to post it as many times as you want. Oh, you want to run it as an ad. Those all have different prices, right? So my follower account never
irrelevant.
It not necessarily irrelevant, but that affects how much it costs for me to post it. That doesn't affect how much it costs for me to create it.
Gotcha.
Those are two different prices, right?
Gotcha.
So that's how I look at this thing. A lot of people will look at it and be like, oh, I only have 1,000 followers. I'll maybe charge them $200. And it was like, you're going to spend 20 hours making this video. You're only going to make $200 maybe before taxes. You're better off just getting a part-time job.
Yeah.
And working 20 hours somewhere else
part-time
and making $400. I don't know how much people make these days, but you know what I mean? Like making way more money guaranteed and like
less hassle.
Yeah. Less hassle.
You're taking nothing home.
Yeah.
Clock in, clock out.
Exactly. So
cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, shit, dude, like this segment took a little bit longer than I thought just because, you are a wealth of experience when it comes to this kind of thing. And I did, want to, Taisei will come on next and we'll dive into the personal part that maybe people don't see, or maybe they're getting hints of.
It's going to get crazy.
But, before, just two more things for me, really.
Yeah.
Just because I have to ask, as someone in your position right now, what AI tool has changed your mind? Is there an AI tool, ability, platform, subscription, whatever out there that has changed your mind?
I was never really anti-AI. I am like anti-AI creating a whole video from prompts or creating a whole image from prompt. But I look at it as like a tool to enhance the business or creative side. But I honestly just use ChatGPT more as like an assistant or like as a resource to organize a lot of information or help me create a general template or workflow, because I already know what I want to do. I just don't know how to like sometimes structure it, or I know how I want to structure it. I don't know what to do. And then it's like, well, do this in this structure, or like help me create, these ideas. I'm starting to go more into long form YouTube story driven videos. So it's like, here's the story. I know how to structure this for, here's the general idea of the story. I know how to structure it for the algorithm, but I need your help creating the story arc for me, or give me some options. And then I'm going to still write it in my own words and use my own words, So I definitely, I don't feel like ChatGPT is getting canceled right now though. Yeah. Didn't they like sell out to the government or some shit?
Yeah. There's a lot of that talk in news articles out there about, privacy of information. Also, how are they using the inputs of all these users? Who's looking at it? Who has access to it? There's all of that. But overall, you're a more tool like a business tool. You're a business guy.
Yeah.
who
But I
does
also use it. I've been trying to study Japanese, so it speaks fluent Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah. ChatGPT. You could switch it to like.
Oh no, I played with that.
Yeah.
How do you, as a language learning tool, how do you like it compared to Duolingo or these other popular ones?
Well, you can just have a full on conversation with it.
Oh, what?
You know what I mean? So you could just be like, hey, let's talk about this today, but
Yeah.
only talk to me in Japanese. I'm not at that level, but you could.
What?
You could even say like, hey, I'm going to Japan next week.
Yeah. Oh, you really are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do a conveni like skit. I'm walking in, you greet me. I walk up to the register with these things.
Yeah.
I want to order the famichiki from the thing.
My guy knows his stuff.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What would they say?
Yeah.
And Japan in general is very scripted in a sense of like,
Yeah.
if this situation happens, they always say this or they always do that. You know what I mean? So it's like, what's worse is if they go off script. Then it's like, no, that's not what ChatGPT said. But
I got a friend who's there right now. We kind of did a pre-launch crash course. I gave him one phrase, and I was like, if you use this phrase, you're gonna probably get this reaction. And he since then has like confirmed, like, bro, that phrase, I've been using it because it's not your typical here's what to say thing. So he was like, well, what if I just bring out Google Translate or ChatGPT and just put it on speaker, and then now we have this translator in front of us or in between us. I wish I had that during my language acquisition journey, but in some ways I don't, because again, like the wedding thing, it's a pressure cooker. And when you go through this grind, what you come out with is a little different than if you just had the shortcut. If you're just going for a week, like, okay, cool. But like if you want it to retain and stick, I think going through that valley, the struggle helps because it's a lot more sticky. But I'm not trying to, I'm stoked you're going again. It's springtime. I don't know if Sakura's banging right now or not.
yeah, it's just a pop off when we get out there end of the month.
Okay.
We're going for a drift event, actually. We can talk about that.
Oh, Ty's going to talk about the drifting and all that. We want to hear about that.
But I think ChatGPT is an amazing AI tool. Another one is just Adobe Podcast.
Oh,
I run my audio through that. I wish I had that during weddings.
Bro.
There was so many times where the audio from the bride wasn't great or something. Yeah. Because she wasn't mic'd up or something like that. And I was like, man, like the back and forth between the groom mic and her mic was like so off. Man, if we ran it through podcasts, you don't even need a mic. It's crazy.
I love that tool.
Yeah. So stuff like that, stuff that as a creator enhance or like, bring your things better. I use generative fill in like my photo editing. You know what I mean? I'm not creating an image from scratch, but like I need help editing this out for this thumbnail.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now now that I know that now that I know that what that tool is capable of doing, I'm not trying to clean up this image before I take a photo. I can just be like, no, let me just pop up this photo in my office.
Right.
And I can cut all of this out. You know what I mean?
Do you use Canva?
No, I don't use Canva.
I don't fuck with Canva. I use it. I replaced my whole Adobe suite with Canva.
Nice. I heard it's great. And it's just like another thing that I don't want to learn. Like I don't even know, I can't draw a line in Photoshop. You know what I mean? So,
but see, we don't need to.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We can voice prompt it.
Oh, crazy.
And for a lot of things, like remove the background on this image or make this portrait landscape, or make it, right third weighted, put the subject in the, right third or something. Like you can voice it now the way you would to an editor or someone who's co-creator.
Yeah. You can just tell it what you want. Right.
So I do like I feel like it's a tidal wave of human potential that's going to be unlocked by AI tools. This is the utopian view. There's many dystopian views out there, but the utopian view I hold is that these tools are going to unleash creativity. Movies. I mean, did you watch the Oscars? No. Like, I feel like movies, more original screenwrites are going to come out, more what we would call like color palettes, more interesting treatments are going to come out of this wave. And I'm here for it.
Yeah, 100%. I think again, like as a tool, I think it's an amazing thing. It's a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah.
I think AI is getting a lot of attention now, but AI's been in all of the things that we've been doing for years.
It's been there.
It's been there, just no one knew.
We didn't call it AI.
We didn't call it AI. Yeah, exactly. Right. So, and I think now it's a buzzword. You know what I mean? It's kind of like story for filmmakers. You know what I mean?
Storyteller.
Yeah, I'm a storyteller, right? And it's just another word, but
no, I feel you, man. Well, look, we're gonna end my segment at least on a more personal note because we kind of went heavy in a techie, geary space. Fuck, I had another question, but I think we're good.
Yeah. Well, I got time if you got time. It's going to be like a 7-hour podcast.
I know. I was like, shit, let me get tied up in this seat. And I'm also getting hot. But
yeah, my bad. No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I was getting there too. You can turn it on.
We heard you say the word hook a bunch of times in here. Mm-hmm. And you know how it is, right? You know how editing goes. You know how shooting goes. What's going to make the final cut. But let's talk about hooks in a literal sense. I went fishing with you, bro. We went fishing.
I still haven't caught a fish.
Why did we even go? Was it you were like, oh, I want to go? You commented on a story or something, and I'm like, oh, you want to go, bro? And this was, I don't know, this was pre-COVID, but it was Ko'olina nighttime, arguably morning time. I don't know. It was like early in the AM.
We went until like 2 a.m. I feel like,
and it was. To me, that spot we went in Ko'olina was rest in peace because now they're developing Paradise Cove.
No way.
Paradise Cove.
Oh, yeah.
Gonzo's.
Yeah.
It's going to be something else there. And so we were kind of by that spot. And man, that reminded me that was like the beginning of my fishing craze. And you were like, I want to go fishing. And you've done cooking videos. So in my head, I was like, dude, Phil's about to pop off all these catch and cook videos.
Yeah. Still a goal.
But like, what happened, bro? The fishing bug is gone, or
no? What had happened was, so I had ta'ape for the first time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And a veo.
Yeah,
I had it for the first time. I was like, yo, this is so good. And what I love, just deep fried. I was like, oh my god, it was probably the easiest thing to eat too because the bones are just like pulled out. Yeah,
especially the veils.
And then when I found out, they're just like abundant. Let's go catch some fish.
Yeah.
I think one of the big things too is just being like in Hawaii is like, how can we sustainably, you know, from our own resources catch and, you know what I mean, grow, whatever it may be. That's like the life for me is like, if I could do these things and catch my own food, share it with my neighbors. I want to be Kimmy Swimmy so bad. You know, Kimmy Warner? I want to be Kimmy Swimmy so bad.
That's the life, right?
Dude, hunt. And the thing is for me, like, I don't want to 3-prong it. I don't want to deep dive because there's a lot more involved in like, it's a little bit more dangerous.
More risky.
Yeah. You got to get in the water. There's just more friction. But if you're just fishing and you can cruise, like drink some beers, whatever, like that sounds sick, right? And then you catch a fish.
Shoreline.
But what sucks, honestly, the reason why I haven't been out is because I'm old and like they're nighttime fish. They're nocturnal. So it's like, oh, we got to go at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. It's like, man, I don't want to go out.
Sunset is perfect,
Oh,
bro.
I didn't know that. Yeah. I'd be down. So that's the real reason. It was just more like, man, I'd love to go, but I don't want to get up at like, I'm going to bed at like 8. I'm in bed at 8:30.
You that unk status. Hey, we all tied. We embrace our unk status nowadays. And also where you're at in town side. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. But then again, like now they're drifting at night and I'm like, fuck, I got to get up at like 12 to go. Like, not that I do that. I haven't.
Yeah, there's nothing illegal happening.
Yeah, not that I've done that. Yeah, I haven't. My car can't even drift. I can't even drift. Right? But I'm just saying though, like, it's hard to get up and like go out and leave that out, please.
No. We ain't gonna leave any incriminating evidence.
So that was it. But I still have all my fishing pole. I have some brand new stuff that I haven't even like opened the box.
What the fuck,
Yeah,
bro?
and I'm just like, what do I do with this? Do I sell it?
I mean, your unboxing. I mean, amongst all the videos, the unboxing ones. Also, I see all kinds of products. What do you have? Let's just end on this because I want to get tight.
Real quick though, do you ever do kayak fishing or like you ever done? I would love to do that fishing.
You just said low friction, bro. That's high friction.
It is, but at the same time, it's like I want to catch mahi. You know what I mean? I want to.
You want the pelagics.
Yeah.
You want the ukus. You want the onos.
And I don't want to get in the water for it. I just wish I had like. What's like the Honda Civic of boats? You know what I mean?
You know what? There's the little Boston Whaler.
Yeah.
Gotta link you up with my homie Maddie.
I jumped in a boat with him actually.
Oh, okay.
He has like the
little one.
Yeah.
Yes.
We went out
and
one, I didn't catch any fish that way either. That time either. I got so sunburned. I didn't put no sunblock on.
I
had like shorts. My legs were red, like redundant, like, you know what I mean? It was bad in like my face. And then I had to go shoot a wedding after.
Lobster status.
Lobster,
Did you catch anything?
No. Oh, well, I did catch something.
Yeah.
But then a shark took it.
Tax, man.
Yeah.
There's videos from Maddie going on with him.
Sick. Dude, he's killing it too. Like, talk about a local creator who like went off and did a thing. So proud of him.
He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
The fishing, I was like, damn, it's just so easy to make content. You're doing something you like, and you're making it a business piece of your life.
He figured it out.
And the content's just a topping.
He figured it out. And that's a perfect example of like, find your passion, do that, you know.
I haven't been kayaking. I've thought of it, and I just don't want to deal with the storage. I don't want to deal with the whole startup costs. Because it is a minimum amount of amount of investment. So there's that. Then there's the storage, and then there's also the safety piece. I don't want to get blown out to Tahiti.
100%. Yeah.
Because I went solo.
100%.
And I was like, rush it. And now where's Kenji? Like, I don't.
That
part to me.
That's the big one for me.
Yeah, you get the beacon and all these safety measures. But
that's the big one.
End of the day, I'm like, I would still need a friend. Who would go, like, let's buddy system at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Like divers.
That's the way I would do it.
Because I want those ukus too, bro.
Me too.
I want that, but if I were to not to leave shoreline, I don't think it would be kayak. I would just make friends with a Matty Wong, someone else who has a boat, and then I'll be like, yo, let me go.
Exactly.
That's the way we.
The first time I met Matty was jumping on the boat with him, and my wife was like, who is this guy? What's his Instagram? Blah, blah, blah. Text me when you get in, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't fucking know this guy, but we're going to go. He's so nice, you know.
Bro. Well, I mean, this would go great with any fish too as well. But yeah, man, I think I've talked way too long, man. That was like an hour and a half. Ty, let's go.
Yeah.
This channel exists because we protect creative freedom. That also means we grow slower on purpose. If you're someone who thinks long-term and wants to help fuel what we're building without hijacking it, fill out the connect form on our website listed below. We check every submission, and if it makes sense, we'll reach out. Thanks for watching. Back to the episode.
All right, Philly Blunt. Man, it's been a while. Like if I remember correctly, I think I probably first met you at like Manifest with Kiloha. And I've always been, I have the deepest admiration for what you do, and especially when it started with the food. And in Kenji, I think they were concurrently doing Kiloha's Counter. Yeah. So there was something that you do, something that you bring to the camera and to the audience is a very polished yet still local feel that, to me, I feel like sets you apart from others. Your narration, your ability to narrate is very special and very natural. So I kind of wanted to dig into that. You know, what was the process like?
This is fucking crazy. What? You're just, the way you talk, it was just like such like so well, like, I don't, not to downplay your ability to conversate, but just watching you right there, I was like, damn, you fucking nailed that. Like,
really? That's interesting. Because like when I watch your videos, I'm thinking, damn, he's so polished. And like you were talking to Kenji, you don't really have a whole lot of that, bro.
I think because we're just talking, I think you guys make it so comfortable to chat and do everything. I honestly was trying to listen to what you're saying, but I was just so impressed with like your presence is just like, fuck, man. Like, you guys are so good. Like, this is
That's crazy.
Fucking good. What was the question again?
Fuck, I don't even remember, bro.
It was, run it back. What was it?
Well,
it was like,
it's really like your ability to capture somebody's attention. You know, it's like there's things that you watch and for the first 3 seconds, right? That hook is so important to capture somebody's attention. And attention spans are getting shorter and shorter and shorter. So the importance of it, we understand now. But I think that I come to find myself enchanted with what you're saying. And there's a skill there, but there's also intention. And it's something that could be natural for some, but for others, I think people are trying to figure that out.
Yeah. I think the hook of any video is so make or break on the success of it. If it doesn't have a good hook, you're not going to get them to watch the rest of it. So you can provide a lot of value in that video, but if you can't get them to actually watch it, they're never going to get that, right? So just being able to get them to stop flicking the thumb and like pay attention, if you can get them past that first 2 seconds and just provide value, it'll be a successful video, you know? And I think that was the biggest thing that I learned is just you got to get them to stop scrolling and get them to consume whatever. I hate the word consume. You got to get them to stop scrolling and then get them to just watch what you have to say.
Interesting. When you say consume, I thought, what does Philip consume? Because you're creating all the time.
Yeah, I'm a huge consumer right now, and it's really bad. Bro, I looked at my
Screen time.
I'm embarrassed.
What? Double digits?
Yeah. I had double digit one day. I had a 10-hour day. And I was like, damn. But it was raining. It was a rainy day. That was, we're all stuck inside. But, you know, I'm sitting at like 6 hours. And I had to brick my phone. And I find myself consuming more than creating. But when I consume too, I'm not even consuming brain rot. I'm consuming so analytically. Oh, I would have done this different. Or like, why is this doing good? Or like, oh, this guy made the same video over and over again. Or like, you know what I mean? I'm judging. I'm not consuming. I'm definitely consuming, but I'm so analytical with it. It's the comedy stuff that like gets me, where it's not even the comedy stuff. It's the comments. I'll watch something and then you go in the comments and people are so funny in the comments. It's just so crazy.
That's why, you know, there's a popcorn emoji. Yeah. Because like literally anytime you see something that is interesting, then it's like, boom, go to the comments. What do people think about that? And, you know, I feel like everyone's different. Creators are all different. But how important is consuming for creation? Because it's like, to me, it gives me a gauge. It teaches me on what to do, what not to
100%.
do. Right? And, you know, I know that you're kind of breaking away from being known specifically as a food creator, right? And now with this new car, the 370Z, it's rear wheel drive, right? And what is it, 6-speed?
Yeah.
6-speed, beautiful car, by the way. I know it's your next project.
Yeah.
Right? I want to talk a little bit about that, man.
For sure.
You know, I know it's a car that can drift, but I know that you don't. Yet. Is that the goal?
Yeah, definitely. That's the goal. I think as a creator, that people, let me address the first question was like, I don't think there's anything wrong with consuming content as a creator. But again, I think it's important to watch content analytically, especially as an up and comer or someone that's trying to grow. A lot of people think, oh no, I just need to flood my feed with 100 videos and eventually the algorithm's going to figure me out and put me on the internet. It's like, no. You just need to make like good videos, right? And what makes good video? All those videos that you're seeing on your feed were fed to you because it's good, right? If you're not following them. So why did it do good? Why did you watch it? Look at it analytically. How long is it? What did he say in the first second? How many... Is there ever a point where he doesn't not talk? He or she doesn't not talk, you know, watch it analytically. And then you want to create in that sense of that. I mean, gosh, that's a whole masterclass in itself that I would love to talk about. But yeah, if you're going to consume, it's fine. But if your goal is to be a creator and you're going to consume it analytically and just understand why these videos are performing well and try and create for performance, not just dump a bunch of shit on the internet right now. I think one thing that's doing good right now is yap content. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Is that like in the car type?
Yeah, or it's just kind of like, I'm just going to yap and talk. If you just look up like yap content, it's like, oh, let's just shoot the shit and I'm going to talk about something, right? Yap content does good if it still has those main structures. You need a strong hook. You know what I mean? You need to open up with a strong line to get them to be like, yeah, I do want to hear what you have to say about this topic. Then you need to be pretty straight to the point. And then you need to have some sort of storytelling in a sense of where you're going to have a payoff. And once you pay it off, you end it, right? So there's still a structure to that. And even as a yap content creator, not me, but even if you find success in being a yap content creator, does that push the needle for you as a creator? Are you finding growth in that? Are people following you for your yap content? Or are you just getting views? Because views doesn't mean shit if you can't convert them into a follower. You know what I mean? So that means you're missing value in that yap content. It's not, it's valuable entertainment wise, but it wasn't valuable enough to convert them as a follower.
Yeah, I've never heard of that yap content.
Yeah.
But, it's so crazy, you know, the trends and the way that social media evolves. and being able to adjust as a creator as it goes, you know?
Yeah, that kind of goes into what you're saying too, where I'm kind of evolving as a creator. You know, so I didn't want to be the food guy. I don't mind being the food guy, but it's not my goal. It's not my dream to make a cookbook and be on TV and make cooking videos. Like I was telling your brother, like I just want to do dope shit and make cool videos.
Yeah.
And now that I'm getting older, I'm 41 now. I just started to think, what are some of the things that I've always wanted to do that I haven't? And maybe I should try and knock some of these things out before it's maybe too late, you know? And my wife and I decided that we're not going to have kids. So that opened up so much more opportunities for me as a creator and just financially in general. But yeah, so I was like, you know, one thing I've always wanted to do is dabble in the car space. It's something I've always been interested in when I was younger. But when I moved here to Hawaii, cars was the last thing I was thinking about because I was so broke, and I just was trying to get my business started, and I was just starting a brand new business is tough. I had no like real guidance in that, and just making as much money as I could, and so cars wasn't a thing. And when I bought the van again, I was like, the van is dope because I want to go camping in it. I want to do, you know, all that stuff. And although it's not import scene, it's still kind of car related. And what cool camp stuff can I get for the van? And how can we do, you know, camp car content, you know? So it was kind of like going down that route. It just wasn't the main thing, right?
That content did pretty well, if I remember.
Did. Yeah. And it was also just dope. It was just like, the van was sick.
It was.
Camping was great in it. And it was just fun to like have this old van. It was, you know, very manual, you know, no power or anything, you know. And I didn't realize it at the time, but that kind of was sparking the car interest in me. So I ended up buying a K-van. I imported a K-van. I don't think anyone's ever seen it because I only had it for like 3 months and I put like 200 miles on it. I imported this sick camper K-van that was just so dope. And I was going to go all in this Japanese camp lifestyle thing. If you watch on YouTube, there's like a ton of channels where it's just ASMR Japanese camping, where they have the dope setups, the dope cars. And it's like a 30-minute video of them pulling up to a spot, setting up camp, cooking, sleeping, breakfast, breaking down, leaving, right? They're sick. And I was like, dude, I'm going to do this. It's going to crush out here, right? Bro, that van couldn't even go over the pulley. Like, it was so slow. Like,
really? Are
it
those
had
the
like
little, the mini vans?
It had like 38 horsepower.
38 horsepower.
Yeah.
Small wheels, small.
Yeah. So I was going like 35 miles an hour, gunning it, like trying to get over the pulley. And cars were passing me and it would blow the car off the road. And it was just kind of sketch. And the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? Like, this is probably not safe.
Yeah.
So for what I want to do. And they announced, so actually, let me back up. My algorithm changed too, because I was consuming a lot of camper van stuff, specifically Japanese K-vans. You have to look up the katakana or hiragana to get the actual good shit in the content. You can't type in like K-van, whatever. You have to type in the thing. So once I started typing those Japanese words, the algorithm is figuring out, oh, he's into Japanese cars, blah, blah, blah. So then they were like testing me with like, oh, here's camper, but here's like a drift car. And when I was scrolling through the drift content, actually there's this local chick that popped up, Sarah Choi. She's from here. She's a drifter out of LA in Japan. She popped up on my feed. And I was like, yo, who's this chick fucking ripping, right?
Yeah.
And I started consuming all of her stuff. And I had no idea that there was this whole community. Back when I was younger, I was in the import scene, Fast and Furious days. I was into Hondas. I had a hatchback. We were into racing. Drifting was like underground. Drifting was like Japanese in the streets or like in the mountains. Like, it was illegal. and now that I'm older, I just never considered it because it's like, I'm too old to be doing illegal shit. Like, I don't want to get in trouble. But then I discovered like, no, like now there's tracks, now there's communities, now there's this whole thing. I was like, yo, that's fucking dope. Like, I want to do that.
We have a drifting track here?
They're building one.
Okay,
so
I heard
they
about
announced that, like last year. Well, they've been pushing it for a while, but it got officially like funded.
Wow.
And it's a thing. So it started, it's probably going to take like 20 years. But I was just thinking like, shit, if I can get into it now, learn, I'll have plenty of time to build my car. And then by then I can rip the track, you know?
Explain to the viewers, for those of who don't know what drifting is.
It's basically going fast as fuck sideways in a car. You know what I mean? And there's
Full
so
control.
many. Yeah, but there's, even then I just started learning there's different scenes, you know? You got like the NASCAR commercial, you know, Formula D, where it's just, honestly, to me, I thought that was cool, where they're just ripping in a big turn and then transitioning into the other way. But then there's like this Japanese style where it's like, it's got like style to it. It's big entry where they're coming like 100 miles an hour towards a turn. They rip the wheel one way, then they flip it the other way, and they do this huge, it's crazy. And it looks so sick. It just looks dope. And I was like, dude, I want to do that shit.
And then you got the Moriscos just taking that little L turn.
Yeah. And then you're just, I jumped in a drift car. It was the most craziest thing I've ever experienced. But then again, this is like the best drifters in America.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not going to start off at that. But so anyways, I imported this van and I was just like, bro, the van isn't really it. It's not getting me where I want to go. It's kind of dangerous. And I just don't know if it's going to be the thing. It was going to be the content thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me sell the van and I'm going to buy a drift car. So I sold it. I bought a 370 and now I'm trying to transition my content into like building that. And let me back up. I don't want to transition into being a automotive creator, right? I just want to say like, I'm interested in cars. So I'm going to make automotive content too, right? I love to cook. I want to make cooking stuff and I love tech. And then I use tech to do that.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to do as a creator now is transition into not a lifestyle creator, but the lifestyle of being a creator.
Yeah.
Here's me, a 41-year-old small business owner who makes their income by posting videos on the internet. And here's how I do that. And here's the things that I create videos about, the things that I do in my life. So that's what I'm trying to do now is like show people that here's how I am as a creator. Here's how I make here's how I make the content. Here's the content that I make, and here's the business side of it. And that's kind of the goal that I'm trying to do, and that's basically how I'm trying to transition my content now.
Okay, so I'm actually really interested now in the man behind the camera, the heart, maybe the love life. You said that you had to. Like seriously, one of the biggest things that I've heard so far was that you made a decision with your wife to not have kids, bro. What was that process like? Was it even back and forth?
That was a crazy one. So I've always wanted a big family. Man, I didn't expect to cry. I'm not very close to my family. That's why I moved away. And but I was very close to one of my best friend's family. And they had the biggest Filipino family ever. And during the holidays, I'd go to their house and they would, I'm going to cry. They'd have like talent shows, you know what I mean? And they'd even have like presents for me under their tree. My friend passed away.
Sorry.
I was always like, man, I want a big family. I want my own family. I thought I would have had kids by like 28 because my dad was 28 when he had me. And then by the time I turned 30, I broke up with my girlfriend at the time. So I was starting off from scratch. And so I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm not having kids at 28. And when I met my wife, my girlfriend, now wife, she also wanted to have a lot of kids. right? I'm getting out of this.
Yeah, bro. You
She also wanted to have kids, right?
Yeah.
So we were like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's have kids. But we just weren't financially stable. I think the other thing too is we're both transplants. So none of our family's here. So that's another difficult hurdle for us is like, if we had kids, it'd be nice to be able to have help to, you know, raise these kids if we would need to work and that sort of thing. So that was kind of another thing that was an issue. And then the older we got and not have kids, the more kind of okay we were with not having kids. And we are also seeing a lot of our friends try to have kids at our age, and just like the things that they had to go through and all of the attempts and the struggles. And my wife is like, I don't know if I want to go through that. You know what I mean? I don't know if I want to experience those things. And we even just think like, gosh, like just having a healthy kid is like all we want, right? There's just so much things that can happen, right? But the big thing that stopped us from having kids was I used to co-own a photo booth company.
Yeah.
And my wife would run the photo booth. And sometimes there'd just be these shitty ass kids at weddings where she was like, fuck having kids. You know what I mean? And I was like, dude, yeah, some kids fucking suck. But we think too, like, it's because they're parents, you know what I mean? Like their parents didn't raise them well. But we just had, it got to a point where it was just like, that's not the reason we didn't have kids. But, you know, it just got to the point where we got older and it was just like, you know, like maybe it's best that we don't have kids, you know? So we came to a decision where it was just official, like, we're not gonna have kids. And that was just the biggest weight off of my shoulders because the whole time I was in hustle mentality. From the second I met her of like, we're gonna have kids, I need to make as much money as I can. I need to save as much money as I can because I need to buy a house. I need to like put this kid through school, you know, all these things. And once all of that was out the door, it just was a relief as a business because now I don't have to hustle as hard. I can make just enough money to like be happy. You know what I mean? I can just focus on me. It sounds a very selfish thing, but yeah, like I don't have to worry about anything anymore, you know? So that was kind of a major business breakthrough for me, was just like the fact that we didn't decide not to have kids, you know? And my brother has a kid, and we could always adopt if it came down the line. But I also think too, the bigger picture for me as a business and the things that I want to do is I want to help as many people as possible. And I think if I had kids, I'd be so focused on my kid and helping them reach their full potential that everything else would be out the door. But now that I'm not having kids, I feel like I can just help so much more people now because I can focus my time on helping others instead of focused on my own kid, you know? So there, it's, you know, it's a double-edged sword is a term I've been using a lot, but that's the way I look at it as a benefit. I know you guys have kids, and I hear the story side of it of like, change your life, blah, 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 blah. And I agree, you know, and I hear it. And I've always said, you know, I want to experience everything that life has to offer, and bringing a child into this world is one of them. And it's not like it's completely off the table, and we could still raise a child, you know, maybe it just won't be our child, you know?
Wow. Well, I appreciate you getting vulnerable with that one. And I wish peace for you with that very important life decision that you and your wife made together.
Yeah. I think now that it's been done, it's like, fuck, now I can buy a drift car and do what the fuck I want. Nah, and it's great though. It's like, again, it's like, it's such a relief to me to not have to think about it.
Okay. What's married life like, man? What's you know what I was thinking is that you live in your studio, so home and work are integrated. You wake up to a studio set pretty much. How does it feel to live in that type of situation where work and, you know, your outside of work life is so integrated?
Yeah, that's a good question. Man, shout out to my wife that she just lets me like have all of that stuff up. I think what's great, my wife is an amazing person and she's my number one supporter. She knows that like, this is how I make my money. You know what I mean? This is how we pay the bills. So she's okay with having the things set up like this as long as it's clean. Like this place, this studio is so spotless. This is a perfect example of it. Like everything's off the floor. You know what I mean? Everything's clean and nice. And I think one of the perks is because I shoot in my kitchen, I always have to clean it so it's presentable on camera. So the kitchen stays clean, you know? So there's some benefits to it. also walking around a lot of gear. And I think that's the downside of it too, is like we can't necessarily, not that we're the cleanest, neatest people, we're definitely messy, but like because we're filming in the house, it's like I want every angle to be neat and tidy. So it's like kind of a hassle too of like making sure everything looks nice. And if we're going to film this direction, I need to like clear everything out and make that space. And it's difficult working out of the apartment too, because it's an apartment complex. So you're hearing your neighbors, you're hearing mopeds drive by, you know, there's some challenges to it, but it's great just being able to like work from home. I don't have to carry my stuff. I don't got to pack it up, bring it to another studio and film and drive anywhere. I can just set up and shoot and break down and just jump on the couch, cruise, you know? So
that's interesting. Cause for me, like in order for me to get creative, sometimes I have to step outside of my home or go somewhere intentional so that I can free my mind. And I just always kind of wondered, you know, that, you know, go to sleep, wake up, work, eat, go to sleep. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
It can be kind of interesting.
Interesting is that it's boring. You know what I mean? And it's also lonely. You know what I mean? Because like I don't have coworkers. I don't. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like I don't leave the house. There's times where like, especially when my wife is out of town, I won't even leave the house. So like it's crazy to me when I open the door the next day and the alarm goes off. I'm like, damn, I didn't even undo the alarm yesterday because I didn't even leave. You know what I mean? Like I didn't leave all day. So to me, it is a weird thing. But I also just do enjoy being home. You know what I mean? I do enjoy like our area. It's comfortable. We've set up a nice area that's comfortable. But yeah, it is a little bit lonely and boring sometimes, you know?
So what does friendship look like? Do you have a core group of friends? No friends. So your audience are pretty much the people you engage with?
No. I got some close friends that I chat with. My boy Zane, actually, he's probably one of my closest friends. I don't see him as much because he has a girlfriend now, but you know, I think just being older too in general, everyone's busy, especially if you have kids. It's harder. A lot of our friends now have kids, so it's harder to find time to actually hang out with them. Even if their kids are there, they're so busy tending to the kids. You're not going to be able to engage with them 100%.
So do you like go out to dinner and stuff with
friends?
We'll
do dinner. We'll grab drinks. We'll do camping. You know, we'll do things that's like different, you know, but it's not as much. Even just finding time. I live with my wife and she works from home. That's not the same as like spending time with her. You know what I mean? So we even have to make sure we schedule time outside of the house. Let's go to the beach. Let's have dinner. You know what I mean? At least once a week. Let's get outside of the house and do something together. You know, so it's just like that, but with my friends, you know.
Are you happy?
I want to say, yes, I'm happy, but there are things that I wish I had. You know what I mean? So I'm happy, but I'm not, what's the word I'm looking for? I want more. You know what I mean? But man, like, I do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
I don't have to set an alarm. I had to set an alarm today. I don't ever have to do that, right? I do what I want when I want. I have money to buy whatever I want. You know what I mean? I don't have a lot of money, but like I can go to the grocery store and just buy something to eat. I'm not like, how much is this? Blah, blah, blah. You know? So I'm so privileged in that sense of like, I make money doing whatever I want to do. And that's fucking dope to me. You know what I mean? But there are other things that I want. You know what I mean? Like I wish I had a house. You know what I mean? I wish I had a garage. But a lot of times I have to take a step back and think like, man, a lot of the stuff that I have now, I prayed I wish what I had. You know what I mean? Some people like prayed they could have this camera and I have 5 of them. You know what I mean? So there's just so many things that like, I think happiness is a mindset thing. You know what I mean? Because it's easy to have all of this and not be happy too, right? And for me, right now I am very happy. You know,
good.
But there are times when I was a creator where I was not. You know what I mean?
Like what were some of your darkest moments throughout this project?
I think it was just maturing as a creator, having a lot of imposter syndrome, especially being a cooking creator where it's like, I'm not professionally trained. I don't know what I'm doing. And just dealing with negative comments. I think I just wasn't mentally mature myself. So when people would, I'm just a very petty person in general, but when people would leave negative comments, I would like clap back, you know what I mean? And I would do all these things and I would let it get to me and it'd bother me all day. And now I realize it's like, no, like a lot of these comments, they're just projecting, you know what I mean? It's just projection and they don't know me. They don't know shit about me. You know what I mean? So it doesn't affect me like it used to, you know what I mean? If anything, I kind of laugh at it. If anything, I troll back, but from like they don't know me. So I could say something that isn't really me. Like recently I posted a video of me using a phone and a full rigged out. It's like on a $3,000 camera stand, right? With all this stuff. And they're like, all of that and all you could afford was a phone. Like, why not use a camera, right? If they just went on my feed, they could see I have plenty of cameras, right? But I just come back as like well, not everyone can afford a $4,000 camera. You know what I mean? It's like, they don't know me. So it's like, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Like now I'm more worried about like what I say is going to affect my ability to work with brands. You know what I mean? I can't like say some shit and then this brand doesn't want to work with me because I'm that asshole in the comment section, you know. But dark side, the dark days were more just insecurity, was more just I don't know, you know what I mean? Like even when it was dark, it was like, dude, you could do whatever the fuck you're making money. It's all mindset to me, you know what I mean? Like
it must be like a roller coaster, huh? I think life in general for everyone, right? There's highs and lows, right? And what you were saying resonated with me about being lonely. You know, because I feel like you're the same person off the camera as on the camera. And it's not the case with everyone, like you guys were talking about earlier. Maybe you got to play a role, right? To put on a hat. But you're one of the few that like your energy is the same when you walked in that door as when you're on camera. I wanted to ask you, if your tattoos were a book, what story would it tell?
Oh man. Well, first of all, they're Japanese tattoos. I'm not Japanese.
You're not?
No.
You look Hapa.
Filipino white.
Oh, okay.
God, you want to go deep? I can go real deep on that shit. So being mixed race is the stupidest struggle. Because you're not really this, you know, right? You guys know. And it sounds so stupid, but like, it's a very victim mindset. We'll just say that right out the gate, right? What I'm about to explain is a victim mindset. This is not real. But growing up mixed race was difficult for me because I wasn't really Filipino and I wasn't really white. So white people didn't look at me as a white person, and Filipino people almost didn't like that I was white. And I definitely wasn't full Filipino, right? So I had this identity crisis of like, what am I? And because of that, it shaped who I was, where I was a social butterfly. I didn't necessarily always hang out with the same group of people. I'd jump around. A majority of my friends, actually, some of my best friends in high school, Andre, he was black. And then I had like a Mexican friend. And they weren't my race, you know what I mean? But everyone's so clicked up with the Asians, with the, you know, the jocks and this and this and that. I was just like kind of like a thing. But I always struggled with an identity crisis of like, who am I? What am I? And even looking at tattoos when I was selecting them, I was like, I should go traditional Filipino tribal because I'm Filipino, right? But I don't feel Filipino. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel that tied to my culture, right? Because I almost feel like I wasn't really fully embraced by my culture. And I was, though. I just didn't think that because I was a victim in my mind, right? It's all in how much you put into your own culture, right? And how much you put into your own community is what you'll get back. And I feel like I didn't put that much because I was in my mind a victim of not being identified as Filipino when I am Filipino blood. Which I just learned now, you know what I mean, recently as I'm older. But anyways, I tied more into like Black culture and more into Japanese culture. So Black culture is essentially my whole personality behind in my head. The music I listen to, the way that I dress, the way that I speak in certain situations, and the things that I do and say were heavily influenced by Black culture. And then living in Hawaii, learning Japanese culture was like the next dopest culture to me. So I went headfirst in Japanese culture. I love the tattoos. I love the language. I'm learning Japanese, you know? Fucking drifting is made in Japan. I didn't realize, it's not like I chose it like, oh, that's cool because it's cool in Japanese. It's just like, no, I'm just drawn to that. And I love the art. I love the style. So when it came to picking tattoos, I was like, no, I love the Japanese style. So then I went into like, well, what do I want? And elephants are one of my favorite animals because they're actually one of the only animals that are self-aware, where they'll look into a mirror and they know it's them. You know, dolphins and I think like certain monkeys and that sort of thing, they're all self-aware, which opens up a bigger picture of like, because they're aware of themselves, they're aware of other things, which also makes them believe that they're aware of something bigger than them. So I was like, oh, I want an elephant, but all the elephants, I don't want no like fucking National Geographic elephant, but there's this animal called a baku, which is like a elephant head on like a lion's body with an ox tail. And it's like, yo, fucking do a baku. So we did a baku. And my boy Lucky did all my tattoos. Actually, I'm wearing a shirt too. Shit.
Oh, that's Olelo.
Yeah. And then all my tattoos
amazing.
are Lucky.
What the hell? What shirt? Is that a Ren Lucky?
This is a Kahala.
Oh, it's Kahala and Lucky.
Kahala was the original Aloha shirt, by the way.
Bro, that's a sick shirt, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a food dog with peonies. Actually, I probably have his peonies on me. And then this is a cat. I wanted a cat tattoo with my cat Neko, Neko-chan. And then Neko has his own tattoos. So he has like a bodysuit. And then we did a dragon on the back, which I totally regret. But
Why?
Yeah. Because it's so big and it's taking forever to finish. And it's the most painful tattoo that I can't even fucking see.
Interesting.
I can't even see this tattoo. So I'm like getting all this work and it's terrible. Terrible in a sense of like painful.
Yeah.
And I don't even get to see it.
So out of all your tattoos, the back is the
it
most
all
painful.
hurts, dude. Bro.
It
my
does.
pain tolerance is like 20 minutes sitting.
See, Kenj, you're not the only one.
You got tattoos?
No, I don't.
Oh, bro, it's
But
terrible.
we just visited one. Brandon kept
Yeah.
one tattoos, so it's top of mind for us.
Yeah, and actually, it's funny because he's Filipino.
I know.
Japanese tattoo. I'm Japanese with Filipino tattoo. No.
I like. There's that one chick. Ah, fuck. What's her name? You know what I'm talking about, the old tattooer. The one in the mountain. Yeah. If I wanted to get one, I'd want to get one from her. But then everyone says like, oh, I did that hike. Not everyone, but you know, people did the hike. I don't even want to say it, but
You know she grabs your dick too, right?
no way.
Bro,
Oh,
it's
that's
a big thing. Well, she's a very beautiful woman.
Dude, for like
108?
108, I'd smash.
Bro, but that's I was waiting for this conversation to go there, but like there's literally a compilation video of her just after she hugs, takes a picture and just grabs your dick. And then sometimes she'll even go in your pants and grab your dick. She just likes to feel it. And you can't do shit, bro. You're in the Filipino mountains with a bunch of militants with AKs.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait, why does
She's just very
She's like a
sexual.
flex.
So like every time like
She's like, I own you.
yeah, she does.
Right?
You came to see me hike
Yeah.
1,000 miles
Yeah.
and like, yeah, you're mine.
Yeah.
But like what she does, and she'll do it in front of your wife and it's just a thing.
Yeah.
But like she always, like if you have a wife, then she'll talk to her and she'll do things like that. And like she's just a very sexually driven,
I'm scared to
charged
get a
woman.
tattoo. But I always thought like I'd be so sick to get, when I look at like art in that sense, I go back to the artist. And even then, like Lucky was my first tattoo and did all of my work except for these little randoms.
Is that a heart
Huh?
on your
No,
ankle?
it's a triangle.
What's that?
I actually talked a lot of people into their first tattoos.
Oh no shit.
And I'll say, I'll get whatever you get.
Oh wow.
Right. So I was like, and the way I look at tattoos to me now isn't like, this doesn't mean anything to me necessarily. It does. But the way I look at tattoos is like almost like a bookmark or chapter or timestamp on my body.
Absolutely.
So when I got this tattoo, I remember exactly where I was, who I was with, what I was going through, and what happened. You know what I mean? When I got this, when I was doing this, I was with this person at this time. I was in this relationship. I was going through these things, you know? So I look at them like that. And this is just a triangle. Ultimately, I was with my friend Lisa and Janelle. They're both YouTube creators, cooking creators. Actually, they were just here last night. We had a dinner with them. Lisa didn't have any tattoos. And I was like, let's get a fucking tattoo for my birthday. It was on my birthday. And then I was like, get whatever you get. And I was like, so we were taking a long time to figure it out. But long story short, we went with the triangle because it's like the play button, the YouTube play button minus the YouTube logo. And a triangle has many, you know what I mean? It's a pyramid. It's the strongest shape, whatever. It's just a fucking triangle. Yeah.
That's sick. I mean, so they're your chapters of a book, right?
Yeah.
That's the story it's telling. It's the story of your life and your
crazy.
journey.
I got some crazy tattoos.
I actually have to work in 30 minutes. So I want to wrap this up, but I want you to kind of close this out. Just sitting here with you today was something special for me. And I was watching you and Kenji talk, and you guys are so technical, and you guys you're cut from a similar cloth in terms of creation and whatnot. But we're all in our own different lanes in terms of being creators. So my respect for you has grown. I also getting to know you on a little bit more personal level, and you getting vulnerable with us means a lot to us. Is there anything behind the camera that you want people to know about you? That'll be my last question.
I'm just a regular person, dude. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I have a good idea, but I'm just figuring it out. I'm not just talking content. I'm talking about life. You know what I mean? Like, I have my own struggles. I have my own insecurities. I have, fucking debt. You know what I mean? Like, I have tax debt, but not like regular debt. Like, cut that part out. I'm just a regular person, dude. I think a lot of people put creators on this pedestal based on their following. That doesn't mean shit. It could be one post and now they're 100,000 followers. Does that make them a different person than they were yesterday? No, right? It's just a metric. So I think I'm just trying to figure out my life, what I like to do, make sure it's not illegal, and then do that. And do more of that and just be happy. Like I'm finally happy with like where I'm at with everything. And now it's just a matter of like trying to lean into that more and do more of that. It's sick, dude. I'm like so thankful and so grateful to be able to do this.
Yeah, well, I really want to extend a big mahalo for my brother and I for sharing what the cameras don't show. Where can the people find you?
Shit, I got a OnlyFans.
Nice. I'm subscribing.
Yeah, only feet. I want to say like YouTube. If you're trying to be a creator, you can find me on YouTube. Literally, just type in how to shoot cooking videos or how to make content, or just type in my name. It's unique. And then TikTok, don't go on there. And Instagram, I think is where you'll probably find a lot of my stuff. YouTube and Instagram and OnlyFans.
Awesome. I hope to possibly figure out some way we can work together as well.
Definitely.
At some point in the future. So thank you very much, Philip, for joining us. It's another amazing episode of BrotherLee Time. Please give him a like, give him a follow, subscribe, and look forward to more amazing content. Aloha.
Thank you so much for watching this interview. If anything in this video made you feel something, please share this video with someone you think would feel the same way. This channel is a product of two brothers born and raised in Hawaii, using our skills, our story, and our growing network to unleash our creativity. For us, being creative isn't optional. It's a duty. We've got some incredible interviews and creative projects coming up, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Thank you so much for your support. It means the world to us. Hope to see you in the next one.